I am here with my iPad, gonna do a little screen recording. We'll see how it goes. I want to take you through an exercise that will help you dream bigger. Sometimes I think a lot of times what happens to people is we go out and we are pursuing our dream, we're gonna pursue the thing, and then difficult things happen along the way, and then we start settling into, I'm going to go after this dream, and this is the thing, and then maybe that one isn't right, and we settle again. And I think I've just seen so many people just go through their life settling and settling and settling until eventually the thing that, it's been the fifth thing that they've settled for is now the dream, and it's supposedly the thing that they're passionate about, when you can just tell by the way that people talk that it's not really the thing that we're passionate about. I think different personalities do this differently. I think some personalities have a tendency to really dream big. I feel like my personality, if you're here for any of the personality content, has a tendency to be very logistical. Is this going to be efficient? Can we realistically get this done? And I think sometimes I don't dream big enough. And so this exercise was really helpful for me to say, is the thing that I'm going after really the dream? Or is this something that I'm just pretending is the dream? Step one of this exercise is to look into, if you had another life, let's look at 5 different lives that maybe you could have lived. What could your occupations have been in those other lives? So, in 5 other lives. Okay, 1, my occupation. Oh, I don't like that numbering system, but whatever. 1, I think in another life I could have been a backup dancer for Miley Cyrus. 2, I could have been a philosophy professor, maybe a math professor. 3, I think I could have been a politician. A DJ, a drummer. Yeah, we're gonna go like good. Okay, so 5 other lives. So these are like in other lives, these are careers that maybe I could have pursued. We could have done this even longer. But what it does, it helps you dream bigger and kind of clarify what you actually like, because in this exercise, you don't have to live any of these lives. There's no constraints of the current life that you're living. So this is just like in some other life, what could I live? And it helps you like think bigger. So from there, it's like, okay, well, maybe if I don't want to do these things, how could I infuse them into my life anyways? Okay, well, if I want to, if in some other life I could have been some backup dancer, I think I should start taking some dance classes. That's something I've been mulling around for a while. A philosophy professor or a math professor. I think I want to keep reading philosophy books. That's something I could infuse in my life. A politician. Ooh, do I want to infuse more politics in my life? I don't know that I want to do that. We're moving on from that. DJ, I am going to DJ a wedding. And drummer, I think I want to start taking drumming lessons. I took drumming lessons for a while, but I would like to start again. So already that's pretty helpful just to decide, okay, I don't have to commit to this, but I can at least infuse it into my life in some way, which I think is really helpful. So then the second thing, you're going to look at limiting beliefs. So the sentence I'm going to write down is, I am a brilliant and prolific, and I'll write each of the different ones. I'll write backup dancer is what I said, professor, politician, DJ, drummer. I might also put event planner. So in other lives, these are things that I could have done. So when I say I'm a brilliant and prolific backup dancer, immediately there are things that pop into my head that start saying that can't happen. So I'm going to kind of like just brainstorm on these. So for the backup dancer, I'm like, well, first off, I can't dance. I can't dance. I'm not in shape. I would be awkward. Like if I went to a dance class, I might feel like I'm socially awkward. I'm not creative. I'm not brilliant. I just like to learn. Oof. Gets a little rough. So then you would do that for each of these careers, and then you would write down, where did this belief come from? When's the earliest that you can remember thinking this thing? For I can't dance, I remember it being just like awkward in junior high, which of course makes sense. I'm not in shape. I'm not sure exactly where that came from. No one's really told me that, but I would say that's maybe just come from myself in comparison with other people or like in the media. That I would be awkward. I felt like that happened when I was the new kid in school. When I was my freshman year of high school, I moved to a different city. And I was like the new kid, and I just felt really awkward, and I tried to get in with the sports crowd, and not my crowd, which I guess another limiting belief that I'm not a sports person. But so it's like the new kid, and I felt like I was just awkward and quiet, and I feel like that's where that got developed. That I'm not creative, I felt like that was a lot of, in comparison with my sister, who is very artistic. I felt like the roles we kind of played were like, she's the creative one and I was the smart one. I felt like are kind of the roles we were in. And then I'm not brilliant, I just like to learn. I would say that came from teachers. I remember in elementary school, there was one male student that I was always like compared against. I felt like teachers were always kind of like in awe of him, and people just thought that I worked hard. And then when I moved to a new city, that happened again in my high school. It was a big high school, and I felt like I was also always compared to this other guy. Actually, there were a few guys actually that I felt like people always kind of like revered as being really smart, and all the other kids were like, wow, you're so smart. But I feel like people didn't really take me seriously, and that kind of translated into me not really taking myself seriously, thinking that, oh yeah, maybe I'm not smart, I just kind of work hard. Maybe that's why people don't ever revere me as the smart one. Ooh, what an exercise this is. Okay, and so then after you've kind of written like where you feel like, after you've written where you feel like these come from, then you go ahead and write down the opposite of all those beliefs. And then you're supposed to like every morning say these to yourself. Like, these are beliefs that I've held for a long time, that I'm not creative or that I'm awkward. And so it takes repetition and every day saying them to be able to get them out, basically. So I'd write them and say them with like some oomph. I'm a beautiful dancer and I have fun doing it. I would say I'm a beautiful dancer and I have fun doing it. I'm not going to let fear stop me. I'm not in shape, I'll say. I have legs and arms. I'm in good enough shape to dance. I'm a great communicator and people love talking to me. I'm very creative and am leaning into it more every day. And then I'm not brilliant, I just like to learn. Liking to learn is brilliant. I have the audacity to try new things, and that's genius. Whew. Okay, so that is, I think for some people what might happen is when you do this exercise, you might look at those 5 other lives and you might realize that, oh, actually that's the one that I really want. Like, I think for some people that could happen. And from there, it would be a really scary decision to have to decide, am I going to go for it? Am I too old? Is it too late? And then all of a sudden all these questions would start to come. But then you would, again, do the opposite of all those limiting beliefs. Like, it's never too late to start. You are not too old. You are the perfect age. Over the next few years, you'll still be the same age if you did or if you didn't do it. So you might as well just do it because you're going to get that old anyways. And I just want people to be real with themselves and actually go after their real dreams. I think so many more people would be successful than the current rate of people as far as like career success, doing the career that they want and succeeding at it. I think the rates would be so much higher if people actually went after the thing that they wanted. I think when you settle, you don't have enough skin in the game and you don't care about it that much. And then of course, maybe you wouldn't succeed or do it to its fullest extent or have as much fun doing it. But it's so important to actually live a life that you care about and just not give up. I think a lot of people when they're young are excited about something and they want to go do it and then they give it a try and then they're like, oh, I guess it didn't go as well. And then they just kind of give up. And then things get in the way and they make excuses. But it's so important to put your dreams first, ahead of all the excuses, all the unexpected things that come up, ahead of all your fears and anxieties. You get one life, and it would be such a shame for you to miss out on your one life and the one thing that you want to do. So my hope is that some people do this exercise and when they're looking at their 5 other lives, one thing on that list is like, hey, I actually want that to be this one. Why does that have to be some other life? And then I hope that you infuse everything else into like your list of hobbies. Maybe you don't want it to be a career, but infuse it into your life because that's part of who you are. And I think it will just amp up the creativity in what you do decide to be your main career for this life. And I know one limiting belief that came up when I did this exercise was, I was like, well, what about YouTube? Like, how can I do YouTube if I'm some DJ? And I was like, why do I have to choose? Why can't I just like DJ as a hobby? Like I'm going to DJ a wedding this summer and that's not conflicting with anything. So like, why do I have to box myself into one? If I want to part-time, pursue the other one. Pursue the other one. So yeah, I hope that you kind of like expand your mind and like the activities that you do and the box that you put yourself in. I think a lot of the limiting beliefs were boxes that I put myself in. I am this type of person. I am not this type of person. And if you have a desire to be that type of person, if you're jealous of people that are that type of person, if you really admire those type of people, like for myself, that would be artists, musicians, really like creative people in the stereotypical sense of the word creative. If I really admire those people, that's probably because there's a part of my soul that wants to participate in that. Part of my soul would soar doing that. And it doesn't have to be my main occupation, but there is part of me that wants that. And there's no need to box myself in to say, I'm a math person. Math people don't do this. And it's just, I think it's just so unhelpful to put yourself in boxes like that. And you live such a more full, vibrant life when you get out of the box that you've put yourself in. It makes a nice story to be like, this is a math person. She does math sort of things. And it seems like easy on the brain, I guess. And it seems like kind of consistent. But it's so much more fun to just break out of the narrative and write your own story and be like, I don't give a crap what math people normally do. I don't want to do that. Anyways, I hope you like that exercise. It's kind of fun. This sweater, by the way, is dyeing my arms pink. You're not going to be able to see. Yeah, but the sweater's dyeing my arms pink. So I think in the next video, I'm going to have to wear a long sleeve shirt. So good. So yeah, that's that exercise. I hope it helps you start dreaming bigger. If you're interested, I have a video that I found very helpful. It's about finding your life purpose. So if you want to watch that, I will link that. I also have an Instagram account where I share, like, on my stories, I do kind of a lot of just like, oh, I was thinking about this today. So if that interests you, go follow me on Instagram. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe. Thanks. Bye.